On the 15th year, you touch your first crore. To do it for 25 years is 5 crore, and 30 years is 10 crore.
What's the best platform for me to start?
You should invest which you'll appreciate in future. So my clients come to me, Sangeeta, I want to reach 100 crore in next 10 to 15 years. Get me the plan. I've seen multiple trends. I've seen the Corona bubble burst, as in subprime crisis, IT bubble burst. When the market crashes, because it is a single battle, you have to fight it alone. May it be your journey of your success, may it be your financial journey.
That's what I want to ask you.
90% of investment decisions are made out of emotion.
What is the secret?
The overnight success is those 18 years of consistent, rigorous hard work. Corona came, lockdown started. Market crash from 50,000 points to 35,000 points.
It was a complete panic situation. Everybody was going.
Everybody was like, even the like
helter skelter. It was like today, especially the Gen Zs are chasing this quick money.
Today, you can hit success, but if you don't have the patience to survive those wickets, you will never win the game.
Let's talk about crypto.
This is going to be a big market in next 5 to 10 years.
Today we have a very, very special guest in the studio, Dr. Sangeeta Roy Chaudhary. She's the founder and CEO of WealthCube Investments. She's a podcast host. She's the recipient of Iconic Women Award by Women Economic Forum. She's also on the advisory board of Pune Times Mirror and the founder of Wow Club. Dr. Sangeeta, a leader whose journey beautifully blends purpose, power, and profound impact. She brings over 2 decades of leadership experience across global organizations. Her journey has been recognized with several prestigious honors, including Top 100 Inspiring Women in India and an honorary doctorate in entrepreneurship by the Government of India. A creative at heart, she's the Amazon best-selling author of Celebrate Your Wings, the voice behind your icon. And in 2023, proudly represented India on a global platform as Mrs. Asia India. We are excited to explore her journey across mindset, emotional well-being, financial freedom, leadership, and purpose. Hi, Sangeeta.
Hello.
Welcome to our studio.
Thank you so much.
Such a delight to have you, finally. It's been due for long.
Yeah. I was looking forward to this.
Likewise. So, first of all, how are you doing today?
Super awesome. You have such an amazing studio. It lifted my mood completely.
I'm glad. So, with your amazing knowledge and experience in finance, for 22 years you've been into this field. Let's just straight get to the point. Let's talk about financial planning. The elephant in the room that everybody wants to know today. And I think finance is the backbone of our life, whether we like it or not. So I want to start, with, let's say I'm a 21-year-old and I'm starting my financial journey today. What's your advice? How do I start? What's the starting point?
I think fundamentally, if you follow this rule of 70-30 principle, whatever your income is, make sure you keep 30% for your future as an investment. And make sure that investment is into the right platform. The investment should be growing in volume, right? Now, when you talk about investment, car is an investment, no, it's a depreciating asset. You should invest which will appreciate in future. So I think for the young genre who are getting into this industry, just close your eyes and follow simple SIP rule. If you can't do 70-30 principle, do 80-20, 20% of income, you put in a SIP, equity-linked SIP. By the time you grow at your 40s, I think you should be good enough corpus to think about a stress-free life and retirement and gaining whatever asset you wanted to enjoy. That's all possible by this simple fundamental rule of doing a investment into equity through a systematic way that is called SIP.
Can you also give us the full form just
Okay.
for the...
So systematic investment plan is basically a basket of the companies where you invest in. As the company grow, your investment grows. So it is called systematic investment plan. So thumb rule is like if you put 15,000 and you compound it at a 15% year on year. On the 15th year, you touch your first crore. You do the same 15,000 SIP for 20 years, you touch your 2.5 crore. You do it for 25 years, is 5 crore. And 30 years is 10 crore.
Wow.
And 15,000 is nothing. It's just one night dinner cost.
Yeah.
So this is the power of compounding. If you do in the right choice, right vehicle, you can grow your wealth significantly. I think just follow that principle every month. A small short bucket, put in this equity linked mutual fund. There are a lot of videos available. If you do not understand anything, keep it simple, index fund. That's it. It'll automatically grow.
Wow, that sounds very progressive. Also, which platform, let's say, now that you've advised to start with SIP, what's the best platform for me to start?
See, there are two kind of platform is there. There are direct platform, which is do it yourself, which you have ET Money, Zerodha, Kite by Zerodha, Grow, and there are numbers of it. And there are indirect platform, which is advisor-led platform, which the company I run. A WealthCube investment is advisor-led platform. So here we basically get into the details of customization based on your age, your risk appetite, your dream. We plan the bucket accordingly. So I have a client who's in 30s. I will have a very different kind of stock pickup compared to the client who's sitting in their 50s, right? So investor-led platform will help you do a personalized goal by choosing the right bracket at the right time, at the right way. The direct platform is more of a you hit the ball like automated thing. There's no customization available. If there's a fund manager changes, there are some issues, a direct platform might not give you the guidance. An investor-led platform like boutique consulting firm like us, where we actually step up and say that, okay, this is the new thing is coming. We might switch from here to there. A periodic review happens. You need to move out your money, you need to buy an asset, which fund to exit, which fund to retain. Those will significantly help. What are the difference in do it yourself? There's nobody planning for you, so your expense ratio is a little less. Here your expense ratio is a little more. But eventually, the history suggests people have gone through the direct vis-a-vis the investor-led. The investor-led platform, people have retained longer and they have grown better because there is already a financial doctor hand-holding you and advising you what next. Where in the direct platform, there's nobody to guide you. You kind of, when the market crashes, you lose all the hope and then you exit. So 19%, more than 90% new investor, took out their money during the Corona crash. During Corona crisis, market kind of tanked from 50,000 point to 35,000 point. A direct platform almost lost over 90% of the new customer, wherein the investor-led platform like us, indirect platform like us, they retained. So that's the difference. So this is like general, this is specialist.
Yeah.
So you choose where you want to be.
And the specialist, of course, is the better route.
Yeah, because when you go to a doctor for a common cough and cold, you go to a general physician. But there's really want to get a permanent cure, you need to go to a specialist. And here we do provide the specialist platform.
And it's more long term.
It is a long term.
Right.
So for me, for any clients, I generally work with a little ultra HNIs and HNI families. I don't do too much on very retail. So my clients come to me, Sangeeta, I want to reach 100 crore in next 10 to 15 years. Get me the plan. And I exactly make sure that he gets there for 10 to 15 years. How much is the outflow you're able to make it? I get all the point and I make a plan. This is the way. Today is 2026. By 2036, I'm sure you touch your 100 crore.
Wow, that sounds so empowering.
Of course, there will be market dynamics, but still, looking at the last 40 years, you understand the market. I've been myself in the market over 25 plus years. I've seen multiple trend. I've seen the Corona bubble burst, as in subprime crisis, IT bubble burst, but still how the market outperformed. So
Yeah.
it comes along with the experience. It comes along with your being. I think people made more money staying quiet than trying to juggle portfolio too much. You need patience to create enormous wealth. And trust me, nothing more powerful than India today. The way market going to perform next 10 to 15 years, you will have many more millionaires and billionaires going to born in this country.
Absolutely. It looks very, very positive. I think India is the place today to grow.
It is.
And we all have a great window of opportunity to leverage on this. So, also, since you spoke about these two ways to invest, a lot of these platforms today, like Grow and even Zerodha, for example, they have come up with these tips. Like when you actually open an account, they have these tips that they help you choose a stock or an SIP model. Again, if you compare like a personal fund managers compared to these tips, what's your advice
See,
there?
these tips might not be able to tell you the exit strategy. Many times, entry point is important, equally, exit point is important.
Yeah, I
Right?
agree.
So, when the market crashes, great, this is a great stock to buy. You hold for 3 months, 6 months, but when do you want to exit? If there's an issue with the company governance, issue with the fund manager, issue with that particular category, do you really come back and tell them? It is impossible for a direct platform to do that, right?
Yeah.
And that's where this boutique consulting firm, which helps you to be able to bridge the gap,
Right.
along with the entry exit is very critical.
True.
Along with the investment, a periodical review is very critical. If a particular synopsis is not gelling well with you and client is not being comfortable, you need to win first client trust. And to be able to win the trust, you need to, many times, the good set of stocks might not do well when the market crashes. But
Yeah.
those actually will be outperforming when the market does well.
Yeah.
So today, if I go to a direct platform, okay, great, you took a mid cap, small cap, flexi cap, large cap, but here is a one more client who's looking at growing to a 18-20%, and today market is down. I choose a mid and small cap, my portfolio will show negative. But that confidence that you need to have the trust in me, I'm with you this journey for the next 10-15 years. We'll see shuffle this way, we'll see market dynamics this way, and this is the time to hold on to be able to see a significant growth. See, always remember, success is born in the lonely nights and the empty room. Similarly, wealth is born in that disruptive time when the market crashes and you still have the tenacity to hold on to those stocks and those funds which will outperform tomorrow. Because it is a single battle, you have to fight it alone. May it be your journey of your success, may it be your financial journey. And that is a tenacity you need to have. And that's where these companies like us will help you to grow the tenacity that I am there, have patience, will make sure the shift will happen.
The hand holding helps.
Very important.
Yeah.
See, who are a seasoned investor, they know it all. Many times in India, I have only 6% to 8% people are investing in the market. Where the rest?
Yeah.
The huge opportunity here.
Yeah.
I'm still seeing so many ultra HNI families doesn't understand, have never done equity, never done SIP. They're still married to insurance and fixed deposit, which doesn't even give return to beat inflation.
Yeah.
So at least get into the market, and then of course there are various products available, there are amazing return available, but first you need to get into the primary level, then secondary, then PhD. We cannot take a FD client to come Forex right now or come to crypto right now.
True.
It has to be through a systematic way you get to the equity, and gradually you start giving you product like alternative investment fund, PMS fund, and various other funds. So offshore funds. So it's a journey, and it's very exciting when they have the trust, and they will generally have the trust if you get to choose the right fund manager or right wealth manager.
That's what I want to ask you, because most of the people make mistake here. And whatever I have seen running a finance company also, that it's very difficult for them to know and identify the right manager. So any, advice on how do I make sure that my manager will stay with me, is going to be efficient in managing my portfolio? Are there any ways to identify?
Sure. Many a times the research shares that 90% of investment decisions are made out of emotion.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Factual number. And that's the truth, right? So anybody who's running a wealth management company, they're fully dedicated, right? So what happens, they will try their best to be able to do the best. But many a time today, if you look at it, there are lakhs of financial advisor. A lot of people do it just for the sake of it. That's easier to do. But if you have been in this market for last 20 years, 25 years, you understand the problem well. And then when you talk to your wealth manager, now there are certain questions you can ask.
Like, can you give some
maybe,
example?
Suppose if I have to sit with here, being a naive person, and I will say that, boss, I've never done that. No, if you see the conviction in the subject, you can see that, his depth of knowledge in the subject. I think is very subjective to be able to figure it out. But that can be attained only by opening up a discussion. What he is able to bring onto the table, is the wealth manager able to give you insights which nobody else have ever shared? Is she able to bring, break the comfort zone of your safety nest of the investment led by the fixed deposit and insurance? Has he or she been able to move you out to this equity linked investment? When the wealth, you are insisting, no, I don't believe in this, I only believe in debt, you do it in debt. Has the person been able to convince that, acha, you are doing 70% debt, 30% equity, can you do 50-50? So the test. So unless and until you be with them for 1 or 2 years, it's difficult to understand. But eventually, a person who have been in the market for last 20-25 years, who have been passionate about the subject, and who's dedicating their life to be able to build some people future, I think can be conveyed through the conviction, through the words, through the engagement. Like today, I can tell any client, yes, I do not take any mandate below 100 crore today. My target is that if I work for you 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, I'll make you 100 crore. This is for the business family. There are senior management. They're struggling with the first crore itself.
Yeah.
I'm still okay. So 3 categories of the client. I work with the women and women leaders. I work with the senior management of IT and the business family.
Okay.
So business family is basically 100 crore kind of target. For a senior management, the IT companies or the manufacturing hub, who doesn't have, not even made the first crore or 2, I take the mandate that just a small 1, 2, 3 lakh SIP itself can be making you 10 crore next 10 years by a step-up approach. Those people don't know, right? And that's where we kind of come in and then helping to build that. I actually have a strategy which basically will show you by 3 years where you do be, 10 years where you do be, 15 years where you do be. And I'll work accordingly. It's a Bible which you give it to like Sanjay Jumani ji. He gives you the Bible. This is your name change करो, आप A stone पढ़ो, आपको अच्छा होगा. मेरा Bible में लिखा रहेगा. 10 years maybe plus minus 1 or 2 years. But we'll get there, that number.
Wow. That sounds like a very strong conviction.
It is.
But again, like I've seen a lot of freelancers, right? I mean, advisors who are independently running or managing funds as compared to a established company like yours and mine, where we actually have a team and we are there in the market for years. So any advice on that? Like people tend to go to these individual managers and then I've seen them really spoiling their portfolio. So I think we should also talk about the difference between going to...
See, the moment you're one-man army, there's nothing much you can expect from them, because at the end of the day, something goes wrong with you, what will happen? But if you run like a company, even if you're not there, there are the operation person, research person, support person, there is somebody or other person is going to be there. And a person who would invest in his team, who believes that idea, will do well. Today, when I set up my company, I had the first 4-member team who was still with me. People have come and gone, but the pillar is still there. Today, Sangeeta Roy Chaudhary is not there. There will be X, Y, Z of my team who are known as a part of the WellCube, and they will always stand up for me, right? They will have the same conviction. They will have the same knowledge. Research, one of the person who heads the research is one of the respected fund manager of the country, So at the end of the day, who invest in the team because they believe this company will grow. If I run it like a one-man show, independent financial advisor, I'm happy to do my own pocket. I'm not really bothered what is happening.
Yeah.
We're growing significantly. Today you want to touch your 1,000 crore, 10,000 crore, 20,000 crore. You have to have a team set up, right? Who also bring their skill set.
Yeah.
You do not, I think the famous, forgetting the Alibaba was the founder, Alibaba's founder, Jack Ma, had mentioned, you hire the smarter people than you as a team. And they will do wonders. So I think I've been lucky to get a lot of smart people around me who sort of really built who I am today.
Wow. I think you were smart enough to do that.
Good one.
So a lot of credit goes to you. So now, coming to how your team does the research on picking up stocks. Because as compared to a retail investor who does it themselves, what's the difference between your team and the research that you guys do to be able to pick up the right stocks? Mm-hmm. Can you take us a little deep into that process?
So basically, of course, there are stock pick, there are a lot of ratios and a lot of things which I'm not getting into the technical thing. But what happens is that whatever has outperformed in the last 5 years, it might not outperform next 5 years. So there are certain financial ratios, certain, beta, certain, sharpened ratios, a lot of things, and the fundamentals behind that particular fund for the fund manager, or if I pick up the stocks behind that particular company, it literally goes a very in-depth analysis, right? So when I'm talking about a fund, I look into 5 ratios per se, as I told you, right? But when I pick up a stock, my research team will be actually getting into even the nitty-gritty to the company's management, the ethos, principles, what is the, structure. It gets into that detailing, right? Because at the end of the day, apart from companies' financial, companies' ratios, companies' future, companies' investor, there are many more things goes behind the back, which need to be picked up very, very thoroughly. And we have a very strong research team sitting who actually led one of the largest fund of the country. The people from that team have joined us to do the research analysis. While as a company, we do mostly into mutual funds. So we do a lot of handpicking for the mutual fund houses, PMS, alternate investment fund. We do not do stock trading idea directly. We have not got the license to do that, but we do everything else apart from the stock picking. So we do the mutual fund picking, the alternate investment idea. One of our alternate investment ideas given about 40% return. And Indian market is like really, Forex market it might be, but Indian market is not. And that fund has done 35 to 40% consistently for last 12 years of inception. So those sort of detailing we do to be able to pick out the right choices. Because at the end of the day, I've worked with a lot of large families, and one thing I've learned, they burn so much of money by doing the wrong investment. Their goal is that how do I protect my money? So there are extreme cases. So one of the main thing, capital protection. Whatever funds, the moment you talk about 35-40%, risk of capital also very high. But we do not pick up such things where the capital is not going to be protected. So that much of analysis gets into it. Getting into investing on the particular founder of that company is very critical. Today's
True.
startup is successful because of everything else.
Yeah.
The founder, the team has to be very aligned, right?
True.
And that, of course, then you have to have that. So it's very, very critical to who's the founder of the company. You take a high bet on that.
Who are the people behind the brand?
Exactly.
Yeah,
That
and of
itself
course,
makes
then
it.
the strategies of the company, the projections. I think everything comes.
So there's a lot of great founder, but those founders are not coachable. Then venture capital fund also finds very difficult to invest in that because they've invested in a first lot and you're not listening to me, then how do we able to grow your business? So there's a lot of things which goes behind that.
Yeah, a lot
One
of
is the idea.
subjective.
One
yeah.
is the idea. One is the team. One is the market size. One is the, proximity to get into that with a much ease. But at the end of the day, are you as a founding team approachable? Are you coachable? Are you able to listen to what we are? Are you, sort of, so there's a lot of dynamics
Yeah.
goes behind the play.
Yeah.
Then only an idea becomes successful, right?
True.
And any idea to become successful requires that 8 to 10 years of hard work, silent work.
Absolutely.
It's like iceberg on the tip, but you cannot see the beneath the midnight,
the
and
behind the scenes.
the behind the scene, the rejection,
All the tears and the
tears,
blood.
and how many times you wanted to go back to job, and
Yeah.
how many times you want to shut the business. And nobody sees that. The overnight success is those 18 years of consistent, rigorous hard work, which makes you overnight success tomorrow.
Wow. I love that. So, also, now let's talk about what are the asset classes generally in a portfolio that would be the top ones that you suggest your clients?
So, majority, as I told you, majority of the client in my size is 35 to 45. That's the category I majorly get because I'm in the maybe similar age bracket. So people understand. But in this bracket, I see clients are more prone to when you talk about asset class, there are equities, there are gold, silver, there are real estate, right? There's alternatives. There's a various asset class. For any families to do exceptionally well, I believe more than 50% portfolio need to be in equities. I personally believe because that's where you actually.
And this is true for an individual. Let's take a case of an individual first. Let's say I'm a retail investor today, and again, I want to start my journey. Of course, the first step you said is SIP, which is the safest. But how can I expand that portfolio into the other asset classes? So, what is the sequence?
So basically, suppose when somebody, a retail investor is coming, I do not give them any other thing apart from SIP. Once you start doing, get your first 50 lakh. Or once you get your first crore, then a 20% of it we introduce to a second asset class. Okay, so
Second one is equity.
So SIP is mainly 80% will be equity, maybe 20% of the debt, 70% is equity, 30% of the debt.
Can you also explain to our audience the difference between equity?
So basically, when you talk about SIP, systematic investment, okay, so for all the audience here, how does this mutual fund work? A lot of people don't understand, right? Suppose in this studio, we have about 10 people or 50 people. So I take 2 rupees from each 50 of you. So my kitty becomes 100. Now as a fund manager, I have 100 rupees. I've collected 2 rupees from each one of you. So my kitty became 100. Now this 100 rupees I have to invest in the top companies. So I choose top 10 sector of India. It can be petrochemical, it can be automobile, it can be FMCG. Each industry, I pick out top 3, 4, 5 companies.
Right.
Just a very simple example. So in 10 sector, I picked up 5 companies. That means my portfolio became 50 companies. Now I've collected 100 rupees from each one of you, the general public. Now from 100 rupees, I allocate 2 rupees, 2 rupees, 2 rupees, 2 rupees across 50 companies. What happens? Suddenly one company goes berserk for whatever reason. So it collapses. So my 100 rupees became now 98. The moment, so मेरा 2 रुपये का वैल्यू जब भी मेरे को जाके 2% गिर गया, I get very panic. No.
Yeah.
Let me take out the money. That's a new investor rule.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm in the direct like a grow or zero, oh my god, paisa ja rahe, chalo nikal do.
Panic situation.
Panic situation. Then second company also go berserk. Some Satyam saga happens, some Kingfisher, something happened, and then both the companies I lost. So I have 48 companies, 96 rupees. So my value as a fund manager, 100 rupees become 96 rupees. Yeah. So as a unit holder, I have put in 2 rupees. 2 rupees ka mere ko 4% gone. Means 80 paisa gone. That means I'm very tired. I'm like, no, I don't want to do it. But please understand, rest of the 48 companies where I have put in your money, they're all listed entity. And they are also growing at a 20 to 30% year on year to show shareholder return. So if you be a little patient and grow, let the company outperform, let the fund manager decide, be a little patient, do not panic, because Trump had done certain decision and that's why market crashed. Because FII are moving out the investment from India, that's why market crashed. Do not panic. Just stay a little quiet and just let the fund manager do manage their 48 companies, how they grow. And this each 48 companies are also growing by dint of their work, because they also have to create shareholder value, right? So automatically your
it will balance out.
Now these are all equity. So there are funds which is combination of equity and debt. So suppose I have taken a government securities or I have taken a corporate debt, which will have to pay back.
So what's a debt?
Okay, debt is a loan. So as a company, either how do I raise money? I'll raise money through equity, which is I go initial
Listed.
public offer, I get listed, I get people money. Or I go to the debt. I said, okay, fine. I go to XYZ company. I need 1 crore rupees. Okay. I hope 1 crore I would have got through the initial public offer equity. Great. I got 70 lakh. I have shortfall of 30 lakh. Now I go to the debt. Debt market mein I will actually take a loan.
From a bank.
From a bank or from a financial institution or whoever, the bodies are. So once I take a loan of 30 lakh, I have to pay back the debt. So whenever my company makes profit, I'll pay back to the debt, because that's my commitment every year, a certain percent of interest. So debt generally is more safer. A debt-oriented product will not give you a great return, maybe 7 to 9%. But you will not grow. Equity-oriented product can give you even 12 to 15%, 10 to 15% range. But when the market crashes, your value also can come down a little bit. But howsoever, last 40 years, if you see any market cycle, market has gone like this, but it's always at an upward movement. In 1979, when the market started with 100 points, today market has gone to literally 86,000 points. Of course, due to recent Venezuela issue, the market collapsed 700-800 points. But let me tell you a story then.
Yes,
this
please.
is going to be a very interesting
Bring
story.
it on. We love
Remember
stories.
2020? What happened?
The crash.
The corona crash.
Yeah.
So last 20 years I'm in the market, right? I've seen subprime, I've seen everything. So almost 20 years I'm convincing my father, Dad, please come and invest. थोड़ा सा पैसा मेरे को दे दो, मैं आपको फंड में डाल दूंगी. Dad is like, no way, I don't believe in all the funds. So finally, after convincing for 20 years, 2019, 10th July, he gave me 10 lakh. Some post office maturity happened. He gave me 10 lakh, saying that I'm giving it to you. If that nothing happens, better be safe. I need the 10 lakh back. I got so this is the biggest win for my life.
Yeah.
I've been managing 100 of crores, but that was the biggest win.
Yeah, I can
20
imagine.
Years, no client took to convince.
This is your point of proof.
So I took that 10 lakh from Dad, and then immediately in July, I put this entire 10 lakh in the market. And market at time, that was a 50,000 point. And that is the time I was in Bangalore. And I was planning to move to Pune. Okay. What happened? I sold my house because I was planning next year to move to Pune. So we just sold the house. So I had some 72 lakh rupees cash with me, fund with me, what to do. The market is very high. Let me just player will say, when the market crashes, I'll put the money. God always had a different plan. Corona came, lockdown was announced, market crashed from 50,000 point to 35,000 point.
There you go.
That 10 lakh became 8.7 lakh. Papa, देख के बोल रहे क्या हो रहा है? What is gone wrong with you? I don't care. You give me back my money. I said, Dad, have patience. There's no patience. India will survive. Economy will survive. They don't have patience.
Yeah.
I'd rather have money.
Yeah.
I was not willing to listen. I said, don't worry. So I had the 7-8 lakh rupees in my hand because I sold my home. So from there, I took out 1.3 lakh. I broke that 10 lakh, which became 8.7 lakh. I gave back Dad the entire 10 lakh, saying, your money is safe.
You be happy
Be
with
happy
your
and
investment.
And that is the time market crashed like 50,000 point to 35,000,
It was crazy.
33,000 point was crazy. There's a time I decided quietly enter the market. Everybody
Best
around
time.
me, everybody, are you gone crazy? Market will never recover. Like whether we'll survive or not, tum entire of your life saving you're putting in here. I said, I believe in it.
It was a complete panic situation. Everybody was going
Everybody was
berserk.
like, even the like
helter skelter. It was like,
I know Corona, once it's over, market will go up and this is the best time. Entire 70 lakh I put in the market and people thought I gone crazy. She's literally gone crazy. Just 2 to 3 years May, market went back from 35,000 point to 85,000 point. And that money,
jackpot.
that way the money grew, I decided to high time to quit my job and start on my own.
Wow.
Because that money was good enough to survive me for next many years.
Yeah. This is the difference, with an advisor who has the experience versus a retail investor who would actually panic and do all the wrong things.
Exactly. And that is the time the market proved itself again. Last 1 year, market hasn't moved. It's always, remember, in a cycle of 3 to 5 years. Now, 1 year it will be like Yuvraj Singh, 6 balls, 6s, 36 run. 1 year will be a combination of Dravid and slow Sachin, 1-1-1. 1 year will be all the wickets are growing, getting out. But if you have a patience for 3 to 5 years, you can double your money in a period of 5.5 years easily.
You got to see at least one cycle.
Yeah.
To see the growth.
When you have the cycle not running in your favor.
Yeah, I think that brings me to also this thought, that today, especially the Gen Zs are chasing this quick money. They want to overnight get some money and just blow it up, right? I mean, this is a mindset we are seeing across. Again, to talk to them about how can they refrain from taking these wrong moves in the chase of short money and then have a more slow, steady, sustainable way to growth.
It is going to be very difficult because the way Gen Zs have been able to grow up and seen, like when you grew up, our parental income was what? Literally hardly, if anybody is to get a 50,000 salary, that time we were super ultra HNIs.
True.
Right? 5, 7, 10, 15,000 is when the parents' salary have been those days, who used to be in the government services, right? Now, Gen Z has got a lot of, right now the India, the way it is shaped up, a lot of accessible cash.
Yeah.
Young generations with a great idea are able to make huge exit. So patience level have been really come down tremendously, which is very important, I think, which is missing in our entire ecosystem. Today, you can hit success, but if you don't have the patience to survive those wickets, you will never win the game. It is not about win that particular over, it's about winning the game.
Yeah. It's like recently, there was this study, 98% of traders are losing money because of F&O, right? Futures and options. So, again, what can they do to kind of shift that mindset from making the quick money, and then what would you tell them in terms of dividing their capital where they can gamble maybe a bit of it just for the thrill or to experiment, but what's the percentage breakup that they should have?
So always, I think this realization need to come from within. You cannot train somebody because today's everywhere. My son is in board exam. They're all talking about FNO trading and everything. It seems they know. Why, Mama, you should use crypto and which bucket you should use. So I was thinking that, this is in their blood. So unless and until you really sort of get a shock, like I have done futures and options, I've lost all my money. And then that day realize I'll never do it. Okay, so
Yeah.
you need to go through their grill. I think if you have money, disposable income to play around, give 5 to 10% as a risk for the fun thing. Do not put your entire eggs in one basket. Divide it. As you said, the previous question, the asset class, keep 50 to 60% asset in the equity. Then you put some portion in the startup, some portion in the real estate, some portion is the precious metal like gold, silver, diamond, etc., which is a good balance to have.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, equity will always outgrow every other thing. And currently, if you see gold and silver doing well because market is falling, so automatically gold, silver, the tendency is when the market falls, people put in more money in the gold. It's like when market falls, real estate grows better. It's
Right.
always a dynamic, it's a various economic factor.
Inversely proportional.
Various economic factor goes play in that. But if you look at in the real estate as an asset class, see, land is great. For me, houses are not. You should have one house to live in for sure. Second house you buy, and in India rental is hardly 2 to 3%.
It's very, very
Right?
low.
Today I stay in a 2 crore property where I pay around 40,000 rent.
Which is
And-
nothing.
Which is nothing. So rather I have that house, and the 2 crore, if I have to get the second house for rental income, is not making any sense to me. And your underlying value also kind of doubling up in every 8 to 10 years. So it's not giving something a greater return. So real estate in a land form is a great asset class. In the flat form, for your own home, you should have one home, of course. There's
Yeah.
no second doubt. But as a second home as an investment, a strict no-no for me.
What about commercial? What do you think?
Commercial is still giving you 6% rental yield compared to the residential.
It's
So
better.
commercial. So you have one residential for your living, maybe one commercial for your rental yield, because people feel is real. Then that digital
Tangible
money or that
asset.
tangible is like gold छू के देख सकते, real estate छू के दे सकते. That's the mentality. So for your mental peace, you can keep that one real estate, one residential to live in, one commercial maybe for rental yield, some gold, but have a little more than 50% of asset class and equity. That's what will make a lot of difference.
What about REIT? Like for real estate, there is also this option now.
Yes, so REIT fund is a great.
Yeah.
It's alternate. Again, is a paper-based form. People who does not believe in paper, there are a lot of REIT funds are available. I think it's an alternative to real estate.
It's better than physical estate.
See, the moment you get into physical state, there is stamp duty. There's a lot
Yeah.
of things, clause, taxes.
Maintaining
is
is the main-
maintenance cost
Yeah.
goes very high. So if you really love real estate, as I told you, first asset you keep it for your name. The rest you can do in the paper form. One, you want to keep it in commercial for 6% yield. But above all, every other thing, I still feel equity will overtake everything.
Yeah,
That's my personal-
equity, we have established the fact that 50% has to go there.
Right.
But the rest of the 50%, now let's talk about the diversification of that.
So you can see when you talk about equity, there can be mutual funds, stocks, etc. 10%, 10 to 15%, you keep it more of a real estate asset. You want a very, very high growth and you're really risky. If you can pick the right startup, if you can't pick, invest in a VC fund, which invest in the startup which has done phenomenal return. That can do well. A 10% you can do it in the silver, gold.
So again,
copper asset
silver,
class.
gold, do you suggest physical gold investment
you can
or
do
the
gold fund
ETFs?
also. ETF are equally good. There are SBI, Kotak, HDFC. Every fund house got the fund of fund ETF, which is just underlying is gold. So it's equally good. It's difficult to manage gold because safety issues ho jata hai. So you can actually do it.
So ETFs are completely safe.
ETF are completely
For
safe.
people, who have this inhibition
I've
that
got-
this physical gold is lying in my locker, but ETF is handled by someone else, that inhibition is always running on your
But
mind.
at the end of this, it's very highly regulated. If you're investing in a paper which is underlying is gold, there is a lot of regulation. Today, even to open this finance company, I have to pass through a lot of exam, a lot of approval and etc. to be able to come here. So it's become very streamlined right now. Nobody can run away with anything, unless and until those are like unstructured market and those, in the villages you see people are giving. But each of the funds, they're very highly regulated, registered by
And
SEBI,
it's completely safe. Okay, so there is
regulated fund. There are, AMFI, insurance के लिए IRDA, mutual fund के लिए AMFI, all the alternative के लिए SEBI. There are so many regulated body you cannot go beyond. So you don't have to worry on that. I think once upon a time there was regulations were not available. It was a lot of scam has happened. But right now I think we're very safe, and India's getting more developed. So there's a lot of structures put in place, and a lot of foreign investor money is also in this.
Yes.
So there's a lot of regulation and you don't have to worry about all that.
Right. So we have 50% equity. Then you said 10 to 15% into real estate. So let's say if I go with REIT, for example, what's the average return I can expect?
Again, recently I had invested, again, not naming the company, I've got a 15% year on year. Okay, because sort of as a wealth manager, I'm not supposed to give the fund house name, but they've given me about 15%, so post-tax about 12% in hand. 12 to 13%.
Then
there is a new asset class has come in, which is a debt asset class, giving 18-19%. There are amazing products which come in. We need to be in the market to understand.
Right.
Okay. So for my personal portfolio, trust me, my entire 80% in equity and I think 20% in the reals. I have one home
classes
and not also real estate. Baki 20% is in all that gold, silver. I also invested in startup. I invested a couple of startup and started studying crypto recently. So I'm doing a little bit of there as well. So, but for my investor money, I'm a little safe. I'm more safer about them than my money. So I generally only put their money into the regulated, proper structured products.
More stable classes. So, okay, coming back to the design of the portfolio. So, 15% around for real estate. Then you have the gold and silver, which can be done as ETFs. What's the return there that I can expect?
Gold has done phenomenally well. Now, if you look at it, I don't know, I went for a women forum. I asked who got married in 2000, who got married in 2005, 10. And because सबको rate मालूम चलेगा ना, जो शादी किया सबको rate मालूम चलेगा. Suddenly, if you look at the gold, was not doing that well till 2010. Then 10 to 15, one hike had happened. It's just that right now, in last 2 years, gold has gone above the roof. It went to 140 and then came down to 120 now.
It's a spike.
Right? So basically, gold being a class where the underlying, to print money, you require a gold reserve.
Yeah.
So it will not do bad.
It'll always be going up, regardless.
So if you look at a 20-year study, equity versus gold, equity has already outperformed gold. But last 2 years, gold has taken over so much of, queen. Literally, it is literally outperformed. So always when I suggest something, we look at last 30-40 years data, gold will always continue to grow. It will not depreciate in asset because there's a class which requires as a underlying class for anything, right? So like dollar is too big to fail.
I mean, every currency is pegged to gold.
Because dollar, for buying oil, you require dollar. No? It's like, it's become too big that, generally dollar is not losing value, no matter whatever happening in the world economy. So I believe gold will continue to do well. Now, what percentage is very difficult because dynamics is very different. But equity and gold will never go wrong.
So these are the must-haves in the portfolio. And then real estate can be a subjective decision.
Real estate is definitely again real in nature. And when equity does well, gold, real estate also do well. It's all dynamic.
It's all interlinked.
It's all interlinked in a way.
So any other, we've spoken about 3 classes. Any other classes that you would add as a must-have?
I personally like startup. A lot of people have burnt money on startups, so I do not give ideas. But my client, I put some money to a venture capital fund which has done phenomenally well.
What's the average return I can make?
30-40% literally. Startup. But you have a very high risk to lose money. So for the if you do not touch your first 5-7 crore, don't think about startup. It's all, you know, or you want to try out a small 5-10 lakhs. If it loses, you don't lose money. But startup, you lose the most. 99% startup, 90% startup closed in the first year, and 98% closed within the 3 years. So it's just that pick the right one is literally a little, riskier.
Tricky.
Not tricky. Unless until you don't have a passion about that, you don't understand, don't get into it.
But so investing with the VC fund would be better.
I feel because they will do all their due diligence, because they also have their own 10%. If a fund size is 100 crore, officially the 10% of the investment has to come from the founder's kitty. So they will try everything to survive that money.
They have the biggest skin in the game.
Right. So typically, that's why better to go through a VC fund, through an alternate investment route where your minimum investment is about 1 crore, but they will manage at least not 35-40%, at least 20% return, where you will not lose money.
You will not at least lose because they also have a basket.
And they will do their life because they put their entire money into that.
Yeah.
If somebody has to put in 10% of the fund value, that's a significant amount, right? And they will put their life into it so that what is going right, what is not going right. One investment has gone wrong. How do I stop it? How do I switch it? What do I do? Do I ask this company to buy over or take over by some other company so that I at least, protect my capital? So there's a lot of due diligence they do to be able to even a wrong investment ko or further wrong na ho jaye.
Correct.
I have committed a 15 crore in a particular company. After giving 5 crore, the company is not doing well. How do you protect my balance 10 crore? What do I do to exit that company? So those checks and balances in place, and it's better to go through a VC route. And then I think Forex is becoming very, exciting because the return is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Even that, I believe this is also asset class will eventually pick up.
Yeah,
gradually.
I mean, I think now finally Indians have opened up to global markets because we are seeing, especially US equity with this whole AI wave going rocket high.
Right.
So I think that is also one of the very good asset class.
It is.
To expand into.
Gonna do very well in coming years.
So we could include that as
Of
well
course.
once we.
Yeah. So again, as I told you, for the young investors, start with a simple SIP. Then gradually, when you hit your first crore, you get into SIF. First 1.5 crore, go into SIF, then PMS. There's a lot of baskets, so people will get confused. So in simple language, let's get your first crore first, right? And then we'll go toward second. Once you get your first crore, it's easier to get your 10th crore.
I think even before that, get the right advisor for yourself, even if you're starting off.
That's a WealthCube investment is there.
Because I think if you start right, even if it's a small fund, it's more long term. You're building the foundation. Absolutely. Instead of experimenting on your own.
See, I have seen, I just met a client recently, last week, Wednesday. And as I told you, he had given me a mandate for 100 crore to make it in 10 years. I told, can I see the funds? When I looked at the fund, I showed him that this fund gives 6% compounding. Where would you get there? So suppose if you're able to choose a fund which is giving 18-20% vis-a-vis your advisor is giving you a fund which is performing 12%, you're losing 8% in a year. In 10 years, you're losing half the money. So picking the right fund manager, right wealth manager
is the most crucial.
Is the first game.
Guys, we are going to link their website. Please get in touch.
WealthCube will transform your life. That much
She's going to exponentially expand your portfolio. That much I can say. All right, let's talk about crypto, the buzzword.
Oh, yes. I'm not an expert in crypto, but I've been literally studying of late quite a few.
Yeah.
It looks pretty exciting to me.
Yeah. What do you think is the future? Because it's such a gray area right now.
How mutual fund industry was there in the early 90s, crypto is there. Late 90s, early 20s, I think has a huge growth potential. People are still not used to it. Too much of volatility in the market. Recently how 3 times crypto market crashed recently. But I believe with my limited knowledge, quote unquote, in crypto, this is gonna be a big market in next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
There are platforms. When I started investing in certain, I remember long time back, one of my friend put some money in Bitcoin, 2015. And he kept that code in a disk hard drive, and
Yeah.
he misplaced that hard drive, and it has
My
become
God.
100 times more now.
Wow.
He could have actually bought a beautiful Lodha home by that
Oh
money.
God. And he doesn't have the address.
He has that hard disk, but he's not readable anymore.
Oh,
So he's trying every
God.
possible thing to recover that number.
These are the perils, of technology. And I think now that's why they have these multiple wallets and the ring and stuff like
so
that.
better if you don't understand digital wallet, write it down in a diary and keep it in your
Yeah.
locker.
Keep it in multiple places so
lock
that
this
one is lost, you have the other. But then, again, to dive deeper into crypto, a lot of people have, of course, made losses and, they were too bullish about it. And then suddenly there was a crash. So, right now, if I were to start my crypto journey, how much % of my capital should go in it? What's the, term that I should look at to hold the crypto?
So there are a lot of official companies who you can get into crypto like a systematic mode, SIP, how do you do mutual fund, Mudrex, and then there's a couple of other platform, DCX, where you actually put say about 5,000 a month. So up 2 to 5% allocation if you do in crypto, I think it's got a huge future. I do a small 10K SIP in crypto, a combination of multiple coin. So this platform will suggest you, these are the current ongoing basket. So they have taken, so there are multiple currency under crypto, right? There are Bitcoin, USDT, there is Tornado. Right?
I think every day there's a new coin launched.
So those coins they actually create a bundle of coin and create a set 1, set 2. So like that, this official platform,
which is the best,
safest.
safest.
Mudrex is a good one.
Mudrex.
That is something I have used.
Because we saw, the Wazirex disaster and people are very scared now. So I think we should also probably give them at least 3 platforms which you think are the safest.
So, CoinDesk is a good platform.
Okay.
Mudrex is too I have used, so I have not really, cannot comment on anybody else. But howsoever, again, see, this is the platform to get into the market. Eventually, the market dynamics which is happening, the crypto has crashed 3 times, but I believe it will again go up this year.
Yeah.
This year, it has a significant
It's here to
growth.
stay.
Yeah. So, always any new thing which gets introduced now has its ups and downs. But if you have just a 2 to 5% allocation for a currency, that shouldn't really matter. You should invest and forget about it.
And you think SIP is better than putting individual crypto coins?
Yeah, because you get a set of coins.
It's
together.
regulated.
Regulated also.
All right. Okay, now again, the scams in the finance world, which everybody is grilled into. Yeah, how do you want to start with that?
So I think you always should avoid being too greedy. The moment it is too good to be true, it is too good to be true.
Yeah, it's not true.
That's quote unquote summarize the scam.
Yeah, but then, again, how can somebody avoid, or, what are the tips that you can give someone to not sign up to something which is a scam? Because there is so much going
The
on.
moment you see today's AI generated figure, I saw Nirmala Sitharaman is talking, is just AI figure coming and talking, and one of my very close friends, who's a director of a very large IT company, he also got confused. He joined the Telegram.
Yeah.
Very close friend of mine. He joined the Telegram. He put in the first 1 lakh. There are some 120 people. Everybody is 1 lakh became 2 lakh in couple of days. Then he put that 2 lakh 50,000. That became 5 lakh. Karte in 2 months mein, literally he put some 20-25 lakh.
Oh my God.
And one fine day, Enter Telegram chat, got disappeared. All the people started exiting, and they all 25 lakh is disappeared. So do not go by the private bodies whom you have not heard about.
Especially social media.
Telegram, WhatsApp में मत करो. It is, as I told you, is a FNO option strategy. You know, if people literally could have made money for themselves double, why they require your money to manage?
Exactly. That's the first logic that we need to put in.
If I am able to make 1, 2, 2, 4, 4, 8 tomorrow, why do I need
Yeah.
Neha's money? Right? So it's like, you know, do not go by all this social driven platform. Go by, now suppose if when you're choosing a wealth manager, get your ARN, get the ARN number. You know, like when I do manage money, I manage close to more than 100, 200 crore today. Now, for me, not a single money is on my platform. We're just the advisor. Everything happens through NSE, National Stock Exchange. Mail comes from NSE. Transaction happens on the
Yes.
NSE platform. So today, Sangeeta Roy Chaudhary is there or WealthQ there or not. Your money is safe with respective mutual fund.
In your own demat account or respective
Your respective
account.
mutual fund. Today, somehow something goes wrong, your money is still safe. I have chosen 4 funds for you. You can go to the fund house and claim the entire money through your mobile number or email ID, right? So I don't manage your money. I advise, right? So for me, it will never impact. So everything is like, the moment is a personal, private party trying to do through, you know, this groups and too humongous return. Please
Yeah.
do check. Call up your nearest wealth manager. Call up Neha or me. We'll figure it out for you.
I know, like stay away from temptations. I think
And
that
Mukesh Ambani, Nita Ambani, or Nirmala Sitaram will not come and ask for your money that you are giving 18%, 20%. Please be logical.
there was some video of this Kotak director also somebody made, launching some product which gives you 10% returns and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I think media is one thing that people should completely stay away from. And also like go and meet the person, right? I mean, do your due diligence. Like you said, look at the licenses, the certifications, like before you get into anything.
Exactly.
So online investment is a complete no-no. All right. Okay. So again, this is related to what we were talking. There is so much financial education knowledge going on YouTube and social media today. Everybody wants to be an advisor and give gyan about do this, do that. But how do you identify the authenticity of a person? Or any thoughts on how do I filter out this information and go to the right platforms, channels, the authenticity of the creator who's actually giving me the information? Like, let's say for our viewers who are watching this, who kind of get succumbed to this knowledge and content, what's your advice to them?
Many a time, many of my investors also hear something on YouTube, come back and ask me why I'm not investing in this fund.
Yeah, exactly.
Because whenever there is information is available as a tip of a button. Today you ask ChatGPT, he will give you everything.
Yeah.
Then why do you need a finance advisor? If ChatGPT can decide the stocks officially, why do you need a wealth manager? Right?
That's what people think today.
Huh.
They want to save on that commission, but yeah.
Yeah, but always remember, just by saving whatever hardly 1% ka maximum commission which you save by doing that, you might have a risk of putting entire money at a stake.
I
Because
think
at the end of the day, what happens, see today, whatever, there are some ratios, there are some number, and there's a predictability margin. This plus this is equal to this. Right?
Yeah.
If that is so simple, all the companies would have been this plus this is equal to this.
Yeah.
Right? There's a lot of things behind the scene which is not been able to interpret it by system. A company's ethos, philosophies, that today's, my robot can predict, okay, whether the why Trump had gone and captured Venezuela. Is there a because they are the largest coal reserve mine, or is there a lot of Chinese people working there and they don't want the China to be superpower, right? Those are the things that ChatGPT cannot figure it out,
Yeah, it's very open ended,
right?
right? They
So,
cannot really give you a conclusion.
so that's where you need the experts
Hmm.
who get into the details and then figure it out. Okay, he did because of not that, not coal
Yeah.
reserve, because of this, right?
Hmm.
So it is very, that's why you require expert. Otherwise, surgery could have been done by all the
Robots.
robots. Why do you require? Because that 1%, 2%, that mind which is played, that itself can survive a life, right? The same thing. Everything is done by the chat GPT. Chat GPT will give you the, based on the predictive analysis of last 5 years. Next 5 years, what will happen? Will not happen that way.
Yeah. I think it's
Today,
also pure data, na? The instinct is missing. I mean, at least I believe that even advising, some part of it is instinctive.
it is a lot to do with, I think you need to be in the market, go through the ups and downs, see it, and then figure it out. Why I could have the conviction to put the entire 70 lakh in the market when the market crashed to the lowest, because I've seen market for last 20 years.
Yeah. The history.
History, right? So my conviction is strong, and that conviction I'll bring to my clients. A ChatGPT which cannot do that. You tell ChatGPT construct my portfolio, he will just blindly go large cap 60%, mid cap 20%, small cap 20%, global fund 10% done. But if a client sitting at 40 and he doesn't need the money for next 3 to 5 years, I'll have more mid cap, small cap oriented portfolio so that he does at least 18-20% return. I'll not put too much of large cap. He would not understand that. Okay, so that's what is the difference a wealth manager brings on the table. It is not only data
Yeah.
number, it is beyond data number. There's a lot of instinct, lot of overall knowledge, overall understanding, market reactivity. Then your supportive sector, how they're performing. Today, if I take a theme, digital India is doing too well, but digital India is going to impact 10 different things. You heard the news recently, what Palki madam had just recently. All the cars now reversing from touchscreen, because recently a research report has come that touchscreen is actually impacting the safety of the car. Very
Yeah.
recent report.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're going back to basics,
Yes. True.
right? So similarly,
Yeah.
it is not can be touchscreen in the
Yeah.
chat GPT. It has to be, the basic need to be strong, and that's possible only when you have that market understanding from the day
Correct.
one.
And I think the hand holding is a very big help, especially in crisis. Let's say, like there are, like you spoke about these panic situations. Of course, ChatGPT cannot handhold you and tell you the right thing to do. Like it can give you data driven facts, but
Exactly.
decision making is so important at that time. And I think that human touch,
very
because we all relate to each other as emotions, and we've all gone through certain things, in our life. So that I think connection
I know.
also.
For 1 hour we are talking, we are still so excited to talk about
Yeah.
it. That 1 hour, if you do even exciting, really it is very draining, right?
It is.
It is. That's what the
Yeah.
human connection is all about. No? Somebody to handhold you, guide you, and to tell you I'm there when nothing works
Itself is very comforting. I agree. Okay, now coming to the second step of investing. So, first step is we have designed the portfolio, it's all done. How do I keep a track? What's your advice on, people generally ignore that. It's like, ek bar de diya, the manager is there to look at it. But what's the right way to track my financial portfolio? Any advice on that? Should I have a schedule?
you. So generally, as our company follow a quarterly review. Okay, many a times people cannot give time, but it's compulsory to have a every 6 month one review, because many a time it is important to get to know how the fund performance, why there is certain not as expected, is there switches needed, is there extra money need to be put in, extra we need to do some shuffling. If a fund manager change or strategy has changed, do we need to really switch to the next fund? So this is a very important part. Like health checkup annually, you do it, but periodic review also is important, right? So every year our body dynamics is changing.
Yeah.
Today, after 40, people say you should do every 6 months one health checkup, right? Because the hormonal issues, a lot of issues kept coming in. Market may also there are so many issues are there. So if you do not get it, sort of systemized every 6 months, you might not make the best of the decision for you. Would you slow your growth,
Right.
right? So that's why at least not quarterly, though biannually one review is important.
So when you say review, you sit with your manager and actually go through your portfolio and kind
Yeah.
of do a check. And any weekly, monthly, ritual that I need to follow.
I think if you start with the SIP and lump sum, suppose you have some money coming in, you generally have to be a little open with your wealth manager that I have this thing fund available. Where do I put in? You have to trust. If you do not trust, she or he will not be able to outperform your expectation. And I think too much of, as I told you, market requires a lot of patience. So you need to have a little patience and do not panic at the panic situation.
Yeah, like too much of tracking also would lead to
We cannot shuffle too
mental.
much because many a time if you shuffle, na, what happens? We have to give a little time for them to also perform, right?
Yeah, so you're saying that monthly tracking, like basic tracking,
That
like for
we
example.
basically we're doing
Yeah.
continuously as our, from the back end. We always have
Yeah.
chosen, we have 8-step fund selection process to onboard with a particular fund house. So if they only qualify all the 8 criteria, then only we onboard with that particular fund and then only take the fund to the client, right?
Right.
So there's a rigorous process we follow and we are always following up. There is any changes happening, we get to know. So we become more proactive to let them know that right now I think we should stop investing here and let's switch it there. Okay? So you don't have to do the tracking, but once in 6 months, you should give a little time to your fund manager
Yeah.
or portfolio manager to be able to sit together and discuss what's happening.
Yeah, that's like for the major review. And personally, if I want to be updated to my portfolio,
So
I think a
generally you have
monthly.
an app. You have
Yeah.
an app. Every day you can log in and see how the portfolio is moving.
You
It's a
think
one day.
daily is good
I do it daily
because
because for me it's exciting. I look at the number right every day.
Yeah.
But on the go, you
just be updated.
just for
Like
updating.
whatever
Lot of people
suits you.
client does it once a week only. And sometimes when the portfolio does well, they send a screenshot. Sangeeta, my portfolio has done really well. Thank you.
Yeah.
And somebody portfolio doesn't do well, then I get a call where it is going. Okay.
Yeah, generally I've seen daily tracking makes you very nervous, like a client. So I would say, yeah, weekly, monthly should be good enough. All right, paperwork and finance.
Oh yes, too much.
We should talk
too
about
much,
this.
Too much.
I mean, again, something that people become too lenient or probably ignore, but the importance of documentation, paperwork in finance.
Trust me, I read an article. There are 22,000 crore of asset is still unclaimed because nobody knew where the papers are.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Our parent, grandparent have done some policy. किसी को ट्रंक से मिला है पॉलिसी का पेपर हो अभी 20 लाख हो गया बट दे डोंट नो एनीथिंग वेयर इट इज
At least gold हम track कर सकते हैं, but paper.
So very important. I think many a time when somebody passes away, it becomes extremely challenging for the children to figure it out. Document everything and give access to your family. Very, very critical. Your spouse might not be that educated. Spouse might not know anything. If something touch and goes wrong with the earning member of the family, the entire family will be in trouble. So please create an Excel, document everything, share a copy of the mail to your family members so that at least in the emergency they already have access to. And it's good for you also. So for me, I follow 2-step process. I have a diary, 2 diary, one in my Kolkata home and one in Pune home. Everything handwritten, whatever investment I have.
Wow.
Once a year I go, I update that, and this is the locker. And then I have a Google Drive, which is password protected, which is shared with my family, where I put everything there, from mutual fund to gold to equity to real estate ka paper, सारी things in one document.
Yeah.
It helps, right?
Yeah.
It
So you
helps
have a
us.
digital
But
copy and
thankfully,
a
right now,
physical.
the way India is getting digitized, everything is accessible. With a PAN number, you can literally figure out,
Yeah.
where which funds are there going to the individual fund houses. So it's not going to be that difficult. But there's a lot of insurance policies and all people don't know about
Yeah.
it. They forget about it. So write down everything.
Yeah.
In a month, give just 1 hour
Yeah.
to do this. And then just follow up every month. कुछ addition हुआ तो डाल दो. It's a very simple thing.
Yeah.
1 hour or half an hour. You take in every week half an hour. 1 month you finish the exercise. 1 hour से ज़्यादा नहीं लगेगा आपको ये करने का. Sorted हो जाते हैं.
Like keep it in focus. One of the critical things to do in life. Also, the paperwork when I'm signing up with an advisor. What's that process?
आजकल everything is digital again. Literally, when I sign up with the advisor, there's a mail goes through, a proposal goes through, and everything happens through the platform, right? So there is your mail ID is a gateway, your email ID is a gateway. So this tool is linked. So today, as an advisor, when I send you a data, you approve me in the mail,
And that's a legal document.
legal document, and everything comes from INSA directly to you. As I told you, for mutual fund. For an alternate fund, it will directly come from the fund houses. For a PMS fund, it will directly come from the fund houses.
And they have their own contracts, which
Yes.
has been exchanged.
And of course, we have a copy of everything as an advisor. So many a times, once in a year, we give a bundle of things. We only take printout, get the bundle, and hand it over. So it's a yearly gift.
The best New Year gift someone can have. Any, mistakes or red flags that you think people can avoid in, again, paperwork or documentation?
Read
Anything you
the
want to
document
highlight?
carefully. Many a times, many of your insurance agent doesn't tell you the truth always, which I've seen in my case also. So there is always a free review policy. When you do that, when you go through the insurance document, there are 15 days free lookup period.
Okay.
Within 15 days, even if you pay 15 lakh, 20 lakh, you can withdraw the entire money. It's not matching with the conversation what they have communicated.
I think those terms are so many, first of all, and they
I
consciously
understand.
make it a small font and stuff like that, which makes you feel. Yeah.
Again, just half an hour if you do that, that gives you a lot of clarity.
Yeah. So,
So sometimes it's important to, and of course, when you play in the equity, you cannot literally have a direct standard income. But I think reading and understanding and just being a little cautious in what you are investing in. A lot of people don't even know where they're investing in. I remember one of my clients who started an SIP and a alternate fund investment together. And I told that client that AIF is a lock-in, it's not an open-ended fund, it's a 5 years lock-in. Wherein the mutual fund is open-ended, anytime you can exit. And he got so confused, he thought both is accessible. So, no, you have told me, though I have written very clearly. So, those things is very important when you getting a first-time investor. Tell very upfront and clearly.
Yeah.
It's a closed-ended fund.
and
then
ask the right questions before you sign up.
Yep.
Right. Okay. What else should we talk about?
Finance.
I think taxation. We should talk
Yes,
about this because a
yes.
lot of people are confused again.
Right.
Let's talk about again different investments and the taxation rules on them. Starting from insurance, which are the must-haves. So, can you take us through all the policies?
Yeah. So insurance has got three different kind of policy. One is a term plan. Term plan means basically no benefit. It is a life cover. So suppose I am 30 and I want to have 1 crore as my life cover. Why somebody takes a term plan? Because something happens to me, my family gets that money. During my lifetime, I will not get anything. But after my lifetime, whatever happens, the family member gets a 1 crore. That's called term plan. This is one policy everybody should have, especially the earning people.
And what's the premium generally?
It all depends. If you start at 25, maybe for a 1 crore, you will be paying 8,000. If you start at 45, for a 1 crore, you'll be paying 30,000. Okay,
Per
there's
annum.
a difference. Per annum, that's it. That's basically covers your life. But it's not an investment, it's just a pure insurance.
And
right?
this is excluded in the tax.
So insurance, majority of the premium, the beauty of the thing is that you don't, that comes under 2 lakh ka jo tax bracket
Right.
ATCC, usme everything is like insurance premium can be claimed.
Hmm.
Now that can be your provident fund also can be claimed, your principal of the housing loan can be claimed, your child education fee can be claimed, quite a few, which is a maximum up to over 1.5 to 2 lakh, right? Now this is a term plan. There's a traditional plan which is a like guaranteed plan. You call it life endowment plan, you call it your retirement plan, whatever. That doesn't give you more than 6 to 7% return annually. Till 2023 it was tax free. 2023 onwards, April onwards, they made it taxable. So up to 6 lakh per person in a year, if you do an insurance investment, is tax free. Like up to 6 lakh income. Beyond that, if you do it, it's taxable. Okay.
And it's for a fixed term.
Yeah, fixed term. Now there are this unit link plan which is basically market driven. That the return goes to 12 to 15%. It's an alternative to mutual fund, but they invest in a equity. The only thing is the mutual fund, if gives you 15%, this unit link will give you 12%.
Little less.
Rest 3% per year maybe will be a mortality charges because insurance gives you life cover. That's the difference.
Right.
So these are 3 different plans are available in insurance. So insurance majorly have been tax free till 2023. However, from 2023 of April onwards, they have brought tax component to a certain extent. Now, what happens? There are this company owner. So for the company owner, insurance becomes very helpful because if you have you have to pay a lot of taxes and you take a policy on name of your employees to retain them. So employee-employer relation, etc. Key man policy, where you save the entire tax plus you're also giving the benefit
To the employees.
to the employees. So those are company policies also available. This is from the insurance, but
Out of the 3 that you mentioned for an individual, which one would you recommend?
I will blindly go for term plan
Term plan is the
because
best.
traditional again 6-7% not beating inflation, and unit link again not giving as good as mutual fund. So people say insurance cannot be an investment. Investment is investment. Insurance is insurance. So insurance you should take for your life cover, which is a term plan is the best option right now. You should have your life covered because if something goes wrong and you being the earning member of the family, your family should not go on the street tomorrow.
Right. And any recommendations on which term plan? Like,
I think a minimum today's day, a 1 to 3 crore should be covered.
And so LIC is, of course, the conventional way to do it.
I do a lot of work with Bajaj, being one of they're doing exceptionally well. I cannot, being a wealth manager, I cannot really recommend name, but personally, I like Bajaj and LIC.
Okay.
Bajaj has got some amazing plan of it. So from public sector, if you look at it, go by the LIC. From the private sector, I think you can close your eyes and go by the Bajaj.
Let's get to the second most important part, which is health insurance.
Yes.
So, what's your advice on that?
So I think, as I said, before you start an investment journey, get yourself a term plan, a health plan, because healthcare is becoming very expensive in India, and this is a sector where the country-wise the inflation rate is about 6%, but healthcare inflation at 17%.
Yeah.
And you will never compromise with your health. You want the best doctor, best hospital, best facility.
Yes.
To be able to do that, a simple fall can cost you 6 lakh rupees surgery, right? Which can erode the entire capital for the starter. So there are a lot of family floater plan available, single plan available. So there are policies like 20 lakh, which you hardly have to pay 20,000 premium, wherein you, your spouse, your children is covered up to 20 lakh at a time. And always remember, when you take the health insurance at an earlier age, premium is much lesser. But if you opt it out at 50, 60, 70, when you have a lot of lifestyle disease, blood pressure or sugar or something, your premium increases significantly. So I remember I took my parents' policy when they were 70. So for just a 5 lakh rupees premium, I pay 1.5 lakh rupees,
Yeah.
5 lakh rupees health cover of each. I pay close to 1.5 lakh rupees premium.
Yeah.
So earlier adoption, it will help you in saving in the longer term. And this one thing you should not avoid, because today you're working. Tomorrow, God forbid, the job doesn't continue. You have to take a career break to start something. And something happens during that time that can really collapse a lot of capital. So, preferably, along with the term plan, a health plan is must.
And what is the right age to take this?
I think the moment you become major after 20, see, it can be not only the related health related issue, there can be an accident, right? So any coverage will be covered by that, right? So why to take a chance? I
Earlier
think
the
moment,
better.
The moment you start working, I think start with the term plan and health plan. Would help
Right.
you and your family as well.
And that also saves taxes, of
Yes,
course.
of course.
All right. What else is a must have? Like in terms of, again, taxation planning.
See, taxation ke liye, as per the 80C, 80G, lot of things. So there are, as per new tax regime, there are only two things you can do. One is the initial investment, which is can be covered through provident fund or your insurance or your this thing, education loan or children education. That covers up to 1.5 lakh, up to 2 lakh, I think. The next coverage is into your home loan. So if you take a home loan, up to 1.5 lakh interest can be rebated
Waived
from
off.
tax, right? And there are the other benefits. So suppose you have dependent parent, or you have a sibling or somebody who's not capable of working. So for them, you take a policies that also can be sort of taken out from the taxation part. I think that is under 80. I'm forgetting the 80D or something, and then you donate something officially under 80G. You get that rebate also. So right now, I think taxation wise, they're very very simple, not that complicated. Up to almost 10-12 lakh income, you don't pay anything, and beyond that, whatever small tax, which can be covered by doing these 3 steps, and that too beyond that you cannot have a control.
Amazing. Let's now talk about health. How is our physical, mental health linked to our financial health? What do you personally follow, and how has it impacted your financial health? Directly, indirectly.
Good question, Neha. So, anything and everything start with your mind, I feel, right? So you get up with a good mood, you feel good. I think your day becomes very productive. If your mind is exhausted, everything else relatively mind exhausted. So for mental health, I think talking to yourself, getting into meditation, little prayers, little visualization really helps you to where you are. And everything can happen if your physical health supports you. So making it active, having the right nutrition, getting them rightly hydrated, following a pattern, it generally helps. So I think whatever you want to do, God has given you this beautiful structure called body, right?
Yeah.
And mind.
Yeah.
And this is kind of in your control by doing the right justice to it. Ajkal generations, you see 9 to 5 IT, you come back, global call till 12 o'clock midnight, again early morning call, you're waking up in between, you're not getting the 7 hours rest, you're not able to go out for exercise, you're taking first flight in, first flight out, last flight in to save that little extra penny. Then you weekend you keep on drinking, your lungs go for a toss, and then you Sunday recover, again go back to the pattern. So what are you doing to yourself?
Yeah.
right?
Major burnout.
So major burnout, and that will affect in terms of blood pressure, blood sugar, various ailment, right? 99% of the disease happens due to stress level, the cortisol level,
Yeah.
right? And that can be balanced out morning as soon as wake up. A little few exercise, go out in the nature, don't do anything, go for one round, do some deep breathing, come back, just align your thought, your mind, do some yoga. It's simple. You don't have to pay any money to gain health or wealth.
Yeah.
It's all internal. It is the right discipline and believing and taking a note that I'm going to do it. It's 2026. I'm going to make a change in my life.
Yeah.
Moderate eating, following our little pattern. No matter, everybody is busy. Who's not busy?
Yeah.
But if you want to do well and you want to really keep your health and mind in control, it's all in your hand. You are the creator of your life and you are the protagonist of your own seat. So drive the car well so that it does not hit the speed breaker or make me to an accident.
And you reach your destination safe.
Journey is important. To keep the journey alive, keep your health and mind alive as well.
Wow, I so agree with that. So basically invest in your health first to kind of reflect on your wealth. I think both
It is
go
very,
together.
very, See, a healthy body will give you a healthy mind, and healthy mind give you a healthy body. It's interlinked. And if they are together, rest of the vision alignment will happen. Because they're able to think clearly. Today you want to reach there, but if your mind and body doesn't support you, how do you be able to get there? I think just don't get boiled by the word of capitalism alone. It's only chasing money, only make it run away from you. Accepting and allowing it to come, by just being a little more peaceful and sort of knowing the principle of abundance and visualization and manifestation, and sinking into the body, mind and soul, and letting the universe do rest of the work follows perfectly.
Wow, attracting it rather than chasing it.
Exactly. The more you chase, the more far away it will run.
I know. Take us through your day. What do you practice?
See, I always believe that everything has to be 80% planning, 20% execution. So, for me, the first thing when I wake up, I think once my son goes to school, the first thing I step out with him for a walk, followed by I have classes which is Zumba, Yoga, Pilates, gym workout together alternative day. And I come back, I take my shower, and while I go for a walk, I literally get my morning tea, which is made out of bay leaves, cardamom, all the Indian masalas, and then little bit of chai patta with lemon, very healthy drink.
Wow.
And with that cup of tea, I go for a walk. I don't waste time. I enjoy
Directly
sipping.
in the
I
lap of
enjoy
nature.
sipping because it's a hot cup of tea. It takes about half an hour to drink. So I rather enjoy while I go for a walk with the chirping of the birds and the looking at all the beautiful stray dogs and
Wow.
sort of you work with them. And with that, I go to my workout center. I do classes, come back, take a shower, get ready, hit the day. And before I think I sit, I just make the plan of the day. Every day starts with half an hour to 45 minutes, how the day should go, what I should do, what I could not do, what I achieved to do. 45 minutes non-negotiable. You will never get me on my phone from 9:30 to 10:15. That phone is silent and I'm planning my day.
Wow, that's so critical. A
And-
complete focus time.
And that 45 minutes, literally nobody can touch my phone. And when I travel, those are the days goes a little. That 45 minutes sometimes goes to 1 hour, but I very clarity. For my podcast, I need to do this. For my wealth platform, I need to do this. For my Wow Club, I need to do this. Whatever. I think it's sort of I dedicate this time only for that. This time I put it in my calendar. And then we go out. I've got a lot of meetings. Many a time I have 5 meetings a day. Being a wealth manager, I need to be available when my clients need me. So I not only travel within Pune. I literally do every week one flight out to another city. So for me, I have clients all over India, so I travel quite a bit, but in a planned way. And then when I sort of come back in the evening, again that 8 to 10 is kind of switch of time for me. I take my dog for a walk. I do not go for a dog walker because I feel it's important to get connected.
Yeah.
And he does better with me. I come back and sit with my child and hear all his stories.
Wow.
I have the dinner together with family. All my dad and mom ka complain, everything and excitement. And then, of course, there's a little family time at the end of the day and then literally go back to bed. So that's been the pattern throughout the day. Saturday, Sunday is a complete detox. That's for my friends, social circle. One day for family. I go to spa, I go to parlor. I like to groom myself. I do everything which makes me feel happy.
Wow.
So it's my day. And of course, there's a way, I think there are 8 hours a day. If you plan properly, that 1 hour you plan properly, you can get a lot of activity done.
Yeah, it's the catalyst sort of in your day. I love that way of balancing. I think there's a lot we can learn from it. And I think it's simple, right? We all complicate it, but the way you have narrated your day, I think we all can practice it.
Look at you, the kind of work you are doing, so many things so efficiently, and your office, I don't know, I just feel like coming back time and again. It's full of positive aura. So it also gives me a lot of positive reinforcement to take back. So I think somehow, by God's grace, I sort of with people who give me a lot of positivity. So that kind of also had helped me to grow. Right from very young age, I've been exposed to families where they have become the name of the country. So I've seen their journey, their growth, their talk. People say, if you become the fifth person, with the fourth person you choose to spend most of the time. So your circle will define your future. So I've been very lucky to be into the circle who have been a high achiever. And that kind of molded me to become, on the way to become somebody which I'm aspiring to be. And I'm sure one day I'll be.
You are already.
Thank you.
And more power to you and us.
Thank you.
I think we're here to grow and uplift people as well, empower them. So, wow. Any last thoughts on finance? Any tips that you want to leave the audience before we get on to the rapid fire?
Yeah, I think do not worry. It is a very simple, systematic way of creating magnificent wealth. Just start today. A small step by step, without a break, without a delay, will make you achieve there. And do not panic. There are certified wealth manager available.
Like yourself.
Like Neha is there, like I am there, like a lot of people are there who could guide you. They're there to guide you, help you. And if you really want to make it, you can always figure out a way to make it. It is all your wish at the end of the day.
And also stay away from temptations.
Yeah, please. There are a lot of digital hacks. There's a lot of, make sure do not save your password in the phone. The phone gets stolen. There's a lot of risk. Right? Do not open your bank account from a not trusted source. Do not share OTP with anybody, no matter how known the person is. I think you should be safe.
Yeah.
At the end of the
and
day.
Avoid online,
all the all the Telegram
pitches.
joining and pitches.
Yeah.
Go by.
Be mindful.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow. All right, rapid fire time.
Thank you so much.
All set?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
My favorite.
Okay, your favorite book on finance?
Rich Dad Poor Dad had made a lot of difference.
Your favorite movie on finance?
I think this two movie, Wall Street and that Ranveer Kapoor ka ek movie tha, Salesman.
Rocket Singh.
That was
I
good.
love that too.
That was a sales speech, but it was a very powerful one.
It is.
Yeah.
The Desi version.
Desi version.
All right, a mentor in finance that you admire and look up to?
I think Warren Buffett.
I agree. I recently watched his documentary.
Yes, beautiful.
Amazing. 3 rituals you follow for clarity in your financial planning.
Simple, discipline, strategic.
Wow. Love it. 3 mistakes one can avoid in taking financial decisions.
Greed, rush, without data-backed research.
All right, 5 quick tips on investing.
Start early, have patience, diversify your asset class, invest in asset-oriented assets, and try taking less loan.
Last one, the biggest myth for women in finance.
That I might not know it all, I might do the mistake while I've seen the parents, mother is to manage money. I think the myth is that I might not be good enough, but they are the best ones.
Yes, more power to us. Thank you so much, Sangeeta. This was such a big value add to me personally and to, I'm sure, to the audience. If you have any questions for her or for me, our community, please comment and we are open to answer it. Very happy to give you solutions. And you can get in touch with us anytime. All the links are mentioned.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And to all the audience who are watching, I think womanhood, only 5% who take investment decision themselves. You have a lot of potential and you can make more better investment decision than your men. So without being gender agnostic, come and take charge. And that's where the economy will grow. That's where your family will grow. And that's where your, as a womanhood, will all grow together.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Neha.